So how is it that you stay focused and you stay grounded and continue to, just move forward in what you want to achieve?
I mean, Jesus, I guess, I pray every day, so
Shout out to Jesus.
That's someone that has never changed in my life. And that's because of my parents, especially my mother. Mm-hmm. And me not wanting to disappoint my parents, honestly, in any way. I think it's one of the reasons why I haven't got farther in my career, is because these people come out and just do crazy stuff and have no regard. Maybe they don't have like parental figures or anybody like telling them, or what are you doing? I don't curse on camera or any of that kind of stuff. I don't curse at all in my life, mother, I promise. But yeah, I try not to do nothing that would embarrass like anybody in my family. So I try to I guess that kind of keeps me from not wilding out too much in that direction. But as for just getting back to like having friends and doing more in my career, just prayer in general is kind of like what do people do? They do their Tibetan what's that called? Meditation. There you go. That prayer is my meditation. So I like run every day, or like if I'm at the gym, I'll do prayer as well, like alongside of that. So that's something that like happens like every day that I can always go back to. Whatever else happens crazy during that day, I know that's one thing that'll be solid.
Cause they thought I'd never make it. See me fall down and they celebrate it. Learn how to win with no demonstration. Pop out the cool, got a ventilated. Cause I can't see shit out on 95. Prolific little bitch, I see dollar signs. The shit I done seen got me traumatized. Tryna clear all the pain in my mama's eyes. And my daughter, she watching me closely. Tryna better myself like I should be. Had to chill out with all of that street shit. I came a long way, but don't push me. Rest in peace to my bro, it ain't right, dawg. 20 bands, nothing that's light sauce. Hit the booth and I turn all the lights off. Gotta get in my zone. Gotta turn on my phone, cause all them smiles is fake and I see it. Bad guy, if I got it, I'll be it. Baptized, but I'm living with demons. Trap vibes, so I'm cashing out Neiman's. No face, swear these bitches is heathens, but I don't need them though. Keep my moves quiet, you don't need to know.
Look at Willie with the ones and twos. Not the ones and twos, but the...
I'm trying to be like my boy right here.
He's over there focused.
Shit.
Hey, welcome to Prolific Podcast, episode number 42. 42. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm one of your hosts, checking in, Berto.
And your other boy here, Will.
Will checking in for episode number 42.
Yes, sir.
Special guest today, always. Our next guest joining us, very, very dope soul. Been in the industry, in the nightlife scene for the past 20 years. Fellow podcaster as well. Shout out to Complete Animals Podcast. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah.
Might have seen him alongside different artists, DJ Premier, Steve Aoki, just to name a few. Work very closely with Sway from Sway in the Morning. DJ, producer. This guy's a host. He's doing it all, man. He's doing it all. Let's go ahead and give a warm, prolific welcome to the one and only. Should I go by the government name or should I just go by the
DJ? What do you
Nah,
don't say my government name.
It's like you walked in and you were like, hey, I'm like, oh, shit.
The IRS is going to come after me. Okay, go ahead.
But if you don't know who's joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, big, warm, prolific welcome to the one and only DJ Wonder checking in.
All right.
I had to add
Hey, I saw you focus over there.
Air horns and clapping.
Hey,
next
man.
Level, guys.
I just added all of those, man.
Yeah, he's been dying to use them.
Exactly. It took me a few YouTube tutorials, but I finally figured it out.
We got it figured out. But welcome to the platform, brother. Thank you for taking the time. We're going to do a little toast here.
Prolific
just to
cheers.
get everything started, get the engines running.
You know who really likes applause is Noriega.
Shout out to Nori. Hey, Nori, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hit us up, man, or go on Drink Champs, or if you want to come to Prolific Podcast.
Hey, no, man. Seriously, when he used to, I'm sure we're getting all this, but he used to fill in for for Sway and stuff, like when we would do when he'd be out or whatever traveling, and he never done radio, and so I was the person that always did the sound effects and everything else. I ran the whole show, and anytime he would hear like the fake applause, he would like, play it, press that again. It's like, clap it up. So that's where that whole thing started.
Really?
Like, yeah, dude.
Oh shit. I thought it was just like, just an applause just to hype people up.
Nah, dude, he loves applause.
So when you were doing it, was it just like when someone said something, you'd be the one like?
Yeah, that started back when I first started radio. It was this Star and Buck Wild, they used to do like fake applause and would really go into it. And it's like the sound pretty much everybody has bit, like for
of course.
every other radio show, everything else. And we kind of took that when we went to Shade 45 also. And so, yeah, it's this one applause sound that's in the Hot 97 SFX archives. And so that's the one you use, man. We've tried a million times to recreate it with different sound effects, and it never sounds as good as that one. It's been.
Oh, it's just one. Like it hasn't been able to.
You can't find it. I mean, some people try to find a new one, but it just sounds like rinky dink.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When you hear this one, it's full, just like the air
So
horn.
how does ours sound?
I mean,
He's like,
it's a close second. I'll tell you that much.
oh shit. Well, we got to go back to the drawing board and look up.
Watch tape.
Watch.
Maybe I can send it to you. I don't care anymore.
Hey, send that over, my boy.
Hey, let me just.
Give another one. Oh man, but let's get into it, man. For one, let's do a little check-in. It's a beautiful day out today. It's a Tuesday.
My boy's looking fly.
Yo, my boy right now. Yo, Cheyenne. Shout out to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, you got some competition in Miami, my boy. But how you feeling? Let's do a little mental check-in. How you guys feeling today?
Talk to us.
Me?
Yeah.
You guys
man.
don't want to know.
Now we do, man.
I wake up every day hoping that the Lord will start the rapture so I can get out of this world.
Oh God, no,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a shame, but I mean, I guess I'm okay today. I'm actually been pretty decent lately. I don't know. It's a weird world that we live in right now, and especially industry we're all in. You never know what's gonna come next, so it's like a surprise every day, and a surprise when I wake up whether I'm gonna have a good day or a bad day. Also, I feel like there's we live, or this is me personally, basically live for that like one good day a month. Like so many like bad stuff happens or whatever, and then like something good will happen. Like wow, it's great, living. So that's kind of, I guess I'm hoping for that. I don't know. I feel like also if it feels good sometimes to like kind of like wallow in self-pity and just wait around for that big break that you're going to get. I've been waiting around for that big break for 20 years. It never happened yet, but hopefully it's going to happen soon, man. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to
Maybe
manifest.
the concept of you're not going to know what's good if you don't know what's bad. So maybe all these years that build up of the bad, it's going to be like that one good thing that's going to make up for all of it.
Yeah, I mean, life has been very good to me, I have to say. From my parents, I love them. They're everything to me, to my childhood, to being able to do fun stuff for a career. I'm not saying it's bad in any way, but yeah, dude, like you start getting, I'm sure you guys have felt it before. You start comparing yourself to other people and everything else.
That's a new day. That's a new day and age.
Dude,
Shout out to fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
shout out to MTV Cribs. Actually, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Robin Leach started it, but then MTV Cribs really destroyed this whole generation because you got to see how other people, celebrities, were living, and then now you can see how your next door neighbor is supposedly living, and that's really making you act crazy.
So I mean, exactly like you just said, it's supposedly. So most people are bullshitting. So
Yeah.
it's up to you to decide if you're gonna fall for it. Most people are bullshitting. So it's just like, all right, cool. You're living your life. I'm living mine. Maybe it's not on paper or whatever, like looks like what you're doing, but
But Will, why did he get to play on stage and I didn't, Will? Why, man?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though? Because on the flip side, somebody's looking at your page and like, damn, this guy's doing it. This guy just bought a condo. He's in Miami. He's DJing. So it's like, it's
subjective.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, your life is always somebody else's dream, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. That's how it is. But I guess we have to learn to be more thankful, and I try to do that every day. Also,
Gratitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So from 1 to 10.
If you had to rate it, just
You
how,
had to
overall,
rate
how you feeling?
my
emotions,
mental health right now,
your whole life.
right now or my
Yeah,
whole life.
mental.
It all started when I was 6.
Okay, right now I would. So 10 is like the
10
best.
the best, yeah.
I don't know, man. Probably like a 7 today. Pretty good.
Okay.
That's solid. That's solid, bro. I thought you were gonna come with like a 4.
I'm not like I was gonna say 5.
Maybe a couple of hours ago, probably, but right now I'm at a 7. Man. I think it's gonna be a good rest of the night.
That's the vibe here, bro.
It's an early, all right. Your day kind of starts right around now, right? Well,
Yeah.
at least like.
I'm off tonight, but dude, I'm in such a weird schedule. That's the other thing. Like schedule wise, I've been going to bed at like 7, 8 in the morning lately, and then waking up around like 12 or something, which is kind of late to me. I mean, late to most people, I'm sure, but it's weird, dude. Like tonight I'm off, so I'm supposed to go to a dinner after this. I don't know, so we'll see what happens.
My boy's dressed for the part, though. He's dressed for the part.
It's called Coco. It's in like Coconut Grove or something. I don't know what it is.
Is it the new spot that they opened up? That the whole Galleria thing?
This is like it's KO. It's There's so many Cocos down here now.
There's
That's
so
the other
many
thing.
fucking Cocos,
Just
man.
one at Edgewater's like a new
Agua de
club.
Coco. Well, fuck, bro. Thanks for the invite.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm actually walking in. I don't even have a spot actually, so we'll see what happens.
Just
you
walk
will.
in, just be
With
like,
the-
yo,
with the
say
loafers on,
DJ
you're good.
Wonder at the door.
Yeah, just look at the loafers, G.
What do you guys do after you you know what I do after that? I used to love going out, and I don't even do that anymore. And I just go home and like research stuff and like look. It brings me joy just to like like look up topics. And actually, I like looking at real estate like in different cities as well, just to see like what I can't afford. Yeah, it's fun to me. It's like a self.
He's like, yeah, let me look for a condo next to Central Park in New York.
Oh yeah, I do all the time.
$20 million.
It's aspirational for most people. For me, it's just like punishment for myself. I like to punish myself by looking at it. So
now we know what the problem is.
oh, well, yeah.
Now we know. We'll put a pin in that.
Okay.
Dale, loco.
How you feeling? You want to comment? You feel like commenting?
I feel like I always go second and you go third, so I want you to go second.
All right, cool. Beautiful day. I've had a pretty shitty week. It's only Tuesday, but I had a pretty shitty week. I'm at a 7. I'm at a solid 7.
2 7s.
Yeah.
Might go 7 7 7 here.
21.
Nah, I feel good. I feel good. I feel really good. I think I'm like a 9.
Hey,
All
that's
right.
probably the most you've said because you've always said 7.5 and then 8. No, you said 8.5.
8.5.
The most.
Yeah.
So you had a 9.
I got that last little.
Okay. My boy closing some deals at work. I can tell. All right, moving along. Since we're all feeling okay, we're all decent enough to continue the conversation going. Let's get back into you, man. DJ Wonder. Let's talk about it, man. 20 years in the game. I'm sure it was a rocky start, like always. I'm sure putting your name out there is always the challenging part. But let's talk about 2008. See, 2008, your first. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Start off with the internship. So you had an internship in Hot 97?
Yeah, I was like 2 years old since I've been in the game for 20 years. I was 2 years old when I got my first internship, guys. I was the youngest actually.
He's next to Funk Flex. Like,
They call me
what'd he
baby.
say?
Baby Wonder. That was my first name. You didn't know that?
Kid Wonder.
Yeah, dude, that was my dream. It wasn't my dream to be at Hot 97. My dream was to. I grew up in Delaware, and at my earliest age that I could, my parents never like going to the city. My father and my grandfather were born. My grandfather was born in Yonkers. My father was born in Hackensack, New Jersey. But then they left and came to Delaware, and they vowed to never go back. So I always, for some reason, was drawn to the city. They never wanted to go to the city. So anytime I could get a chance, I would go with my school. So I was like 13 years old, 14 years old. Going with like clubs that I wasn't even in. I would just like join the club just so they're taking a trip to New York City. So I want to go check it out. So anyway, I wanted to get up there. I wanted to do film production. I wanted to direct music videos. Hype Williams was kind of big at the time. And I was like, man, it'd be great to work with him or like Spike Lee. I tried to intern with Spike Lee, everything else. Email wasn't really popping back then. I had to fax everything in.
Door to door.
Crazy time.
Shit,
Yeah. The real hustle.
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy being a celebrity now it seems easy. I mean, I'm sure, but I think you get much less time now. You know, there was always a saying that everybody's going to get their 15 minutes of fame, but now you really can, and you get it for literally 15 minutes. But before there was actual literal celebrities. That's why it was so hard to get in the door. And even on radio, they had, at Hot 97 when I was there at the time, they had Funkmaster Flex, they had Mr. C, Angie Martinez, you know, a couple mixed DJs on the weekend, like Green Lantern, Who Kid, all these people that went on to be, you know, crazy big. But it was like, no way, dude, you're not gonna ever get on the radio. Are you crazy? But now they let interns on the radio and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's great that people now have a lot more opportunity to do things on a big scale. But I think it's kind of like things are a little more played now. You know what I mean? It's not as exciting as if you were the chosen one back in the day.
Because it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So like back then, you know, you had to, if you got there, like you fucking fought for it. So like now it's just like anybody. So it's just like, you don't get that.
It's more
satisfaction.
resources. So like, you know, just going back, it's a grind, right? Like waking up every day. How can I get in that building, right? I forgot what documentary I saw that I think it was with like Rockefeller, or maybe it was a Dipset one.
Or Kanye when he was trying to.
It was Kanye actually. Actually, it was Kanye.
Genius.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, like this is like real door to door life shit. Like you got to get up in the morning, get dressed, and just wait to see if you come across a person.
Yeah.
People don't do that now. You can send somebody a DM and be like, okay, I got you an interview on Monday. Like what? Nah.
Dude, I can never imagine like being able to speak to celebrities. Like when I was a kid, the first person I ever like talked to that wrote me back via email when I was a kid was DJ Camilo.
Hey,
And
he's still out here.
he wasn't even on Hot 97, I don't think at the time. He was doing 88 Hip Hop, which was one of the first like streaming radio channels at that time. And he wrote me and told me all of the record stores like that I should go to if I go to New York City. So I always remember that. The first person that ever wrote to me. I was very happy to get that email.
Shout out Camilo, man. He's still, you know, DJing and stuff like that.
Down in Miami all the time. Racket, and he kills it.
He's at Brick all the time. Not all the time, but
You still keep in touch with him? Or have you?
I mean, via Instagram, yeah. I mean, I guess via comments on Instagram. He liked my last. He wrote something on my last post. So I was like, all right, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Shit, man, you should reach out to him at some point. I don't know. Does he know?
I tell him all the time, and I if I'm not playing, I love to come to his sets as well because he still kills it. It's crazy, like just skill wise, man, it's such a like if we're talking about DJing, it's a different day as well. There's not as much, like, you don't have to have as much skill to make it to the next level, and people don't even care anymore. And that's the bad part, is that people have gotten so accustomed to hearing a certain style of playing that it doesn't matter. People will listen to somebody who actually does know what they're doing and think that they sound crazy. Like, why are you scratching records, or why are you doing this stuff? Like, just play the original version of the song that I hear on the radio. That's what I want to hear. So Camilo still kills it for sure.
Still getting booked up to this day. Shit. Yeah. Now, what you gonna say something?
No,
bad. What would you say is like your aha moment, right? Where I know you mentioned earlier it's always been a dream, right? You want to do producing, you want to do things like that. But what was like your aha moment for DJing? Was that something that occurred that you were like, oh no, this is where I want to be at. Like, this is where I got to go in this direction.
I wanted to do in college. I was doing radio DJing, and I never wanted to do like clubs or whatever. Like, I interned also before Hot 97. I interned for Funk Master Flex, but his promotional team, like Big Dog Pitbulls or whatever, or Franchise Records, when I was like 19, and I had to like stand outside of like Jamrock, which is a club in Long Island, and give out flyers, or go to like Speed with Mr. C and hand out flyers. Before I wasn't 20, I was 19 years old, so I couldn't go in. And I was like, dude, this is not for me. I'm not trying to be out late. I was not like a nighttime person at all. So I did not want to get in this world. I wanted to be on radio. I wanted to do like music production. I wanted to do all this kind of stuff. But I love the instant gratification you get from DJing in front of a crowd. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing. Like, if you're doing a movie, you got to wait until the movie comes out and the audience sees it, you know, or if you're anything, you don't get that rush of like, you do something wrong and you get booed, or you do something right and you get praised like that quickly. So it's fun, you know, it's like a little roller coaster. And I think that's kind of when I felt that, I know that this was something I love to do.
Yeah. It made you feel good.
Yeah.
That's actually a good analogy. Like, when something else is such a big project that you're like building up for, but you don't get that instant like yay or fucking nay, and you can just like transition. Now, like, what do you think makes a good DJ? Like you're saying right now, like nowadays it's just like plug and play. Like, here, this is what you guys want to play, Bad Bunny, or you want to hear that, click. And I know your style is more like how we grew up was just like scratching and hearing like the transitions and shit. Like, what do you think is considered a good DJ
in today's age?
Today.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's funny you say like transitions, which it's really dope, because like a lot of girls that I know, and like people who I don't think would know anything about like DJing, they know about like transitions and stuff. Like, yo, that was a dope transition between this song. I think maybe that's kind of like TikTok also is kind of like help people kind of learn that too, like mashing up songs and stuff together. But it's really dope that people can recognize it when they hear it. But I think what is the average DJ today is somebody that sells bottles and can make money. I think if you're talking about big clubs in Miami or any big city,
Live and all that
but more so Miami, like, because New York, there's big clubs and it was never like it is down here. Here, you got to talk and you got to like big up all the promoters here and make them feel good about themselves. You got to like pit people against other people at tables and like, you're gonna let them do that.
You got to be your own hype man, like, and a DJ.
And that's just not me. I was never a mic person. I never like yelling on the mic. I feel like people, when they put on like different accents and stuff and try to be cool, it sounds corny. I'd rather just talk and be like, "Hey guys, how you doing? You know, everybody drinking? That's great. Don't get an accident." But yeah, dude. So I think that's what is the average DJ would be down here, is just a slam on a top 40 banger and talk over it. You know, I still have to play all that stuff, but I always try to find a way from one record to go into the next record, like some kind of clever thing without being too nerdy. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause sometimes you could play some weird stuff and people just look at you.
Yeah, it goes over there.
Yeah. So I try to like kind of like keep it dumbed down a little bit, but something different that they're not going to hear any other way. So I think now it's mic skills. It used to be scratching and all that stuff was number one. Now mic skills probably are number one, and selection number two, and then transitions and stuff is number three. And that's like a bonus on top of all that stuff. So I think that's what it is at this moment.
That's a solid little lineup right there. Like, you want to be a DJ? Get this, and this.
Start a course.
Bye. Yeah, right? Like, that's all I can give you for free.
Don Hot started the course. Big up to Don Hot. He started a DJ course. There's a couple of people that have...
Bro, we need the DJ Wonder course. What you mean?
Dude, I don't know if I get... People don't want to do what I do. Trust me, bro. I'm sick in the head, man. Like,
but that's your creative, though. That's a creative part. You know what I mean? Like, what's sick in the head to you, it might seem dope as hell to me, and like creative. I'm like, yo, you know what? I like that.
They say what is it? Name a genius that isn't crazy.
Right. I wish I was a
you go.
genius. We'll see.
We'll see.
Cause I'm definitely crazy. But
Yo, so like, I love music, right? Like we're both obviously, like we said, we lived up, originally up north, and I'm an '80s baby, '90s kid, right? So I grew up with the Biggie, and like music does something to me. It actually, really does like help me in a lot of things, and just like uplifts me a lot. I know that music releases a lot of our happy hormones, right? Like for a lot of people that don't know our happy hormones, I wrote them down. So serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins, and oxytocin, right? Hey. So music, it lifts our happy feelings, right? Mm-hmm. Now, for you as a DJ, I know you mentioned earlier that instant satisfaction and gratification that you get from like playing in front of crowds. But what do you feel between you prepping and between you actually performing? Is it more of a sense of like an instant satisfaction, or is it more of like a feeling that you get when you're in that zone and you're just going through these, your set of every different type of song or every different type of genre? Like, what is it that music does for you as a DJ?
Okay, so I'll go into like the prepping stuff in a second, but just for music in general, I mean, it's shaped my entire life. No matter what genre I was in, when I was a kid, the first genre I ever got into was rap music. My cousin gave me like a best of like rap of that year song, and I had a boombox and everything else. And then I got into like hair metal, and I got into like different stuff. Then I got back into rap. Then I got into like punk, and so MTV has kind of like shaped my life in general. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I always go back to. It brings me the best feelings. Obviously, nostalgia brings everybody back to good feelings usually. Because you only kind of remember the best parts of like high school or something like that. You don't really remember like the bad days we have, you know what I mean? And probably 10, 20 years from now, I'll look back at this day and be like, oh man, I was coasting, bro. I should have just enjoyed it more, So it brings you back to those feelings. And that's why I love, New Jack Swing, 90s R&B, all that kind of stuff. That's like my favorite genres. I love like yacht rock that like brings me feelings of like, I have a mix called Shopping with Mom that came out on A-Track's, like A-Track, the DJ, his Fool's Gold Records. They put that out as one of their mixes. So that's one of my favorites that I've done. So anything that gives me that kind of vibes, and, I love music in that way. Obviously, I'm in the field, and that's the direction I've gone towards, and that's kind of shaped everything. But for prepping, I don't like to prep for what I'm going to play on a regular night, but unless it's a big party. I just did a party called The Do-Over, and that's on my, you can check it out at DJ Wonder on Instagram or youtube.com/DJ Wonder. You can check it out on there, the full set. I knew about 3 weeks before I was going to be playing it, and I spent 2 weeks putting a set together. I never do that. So every single song in that set had something that transitions into the next song, whether it's a phrase or something like a piece of music that goes into the next song. So it was all put together. There used to be a competition called Red Bull 3 Style, and you would get 15 minutes to do something like this. I did an hour and 20-minute version of that, basically. And so it took 2 weeks for me to put that together. And I enjoy doing all of that. It was work for sure. And sometimes I'd be like, man, I'm trying to go to sleep. But just knowing that I'd be able to play in front of people and get some satisfaction out of that, it was fun putting that stuff together. So those are like the only times that I actually put it. Yeah.
How did it go though?
I mean, I think it went great. I got a lot of.
Just I'm saying off of your personal, because I'm asking you because you're so used to not prepping, and it goes, I would assume the way that you like, because you enjoy it and you've been doing it for a while. Now that you did, so it's just like you're doing something that's out of your comfort zone as far as like prepping for it. Like, did you think it went as good or as you thought it would? I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I played the party a couple times before, so I kind of knew the vibe. But it allows you to. I know this song's coming next and this song's coming next, whatever. Blah, blah. I'm not taking requests. I'm just like running through. It's bad. No, but a girl did request Pitbull several times. I thought it was hilarious, like during my set. And I was like, yeah, sure. But it's more, this party is more of a like, almost like you're on stage and people are there just to watch you, like a festival kind of thing, where it's like they accept what you're going to play and they know it's going to be you, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. So it gives you more freedom to kind of like interact with the crowd or like chill, like take it all in. When I'm playing like clubs, bro, like it's, don't talk to me, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to be nice, but it's like I'm in the zone, bro. I'm thinking in the next 3 or 4 songs, I'm like, my head is down. I play one verse because that's another thing when I came down to Miami. New York and definitely West Coast, you let things rock, you let it breathe. New York, you let it breathe a little bit. Here, you do one verse. Somebody said because everybody's on cocaine or something. I have no idea. They want to be bong, 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 bro.
They want every fucking hit for the last 5 years.
Oh yeah, I literally
your set.
I literally had a club owner tell me that, like, we only do top 40 and one verse a piece, in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm like, all right, man, whatever you want. So that's like, so when I'm playing, like, I'm thinking about it, and like I'm throwing in requests, doing all that stuff. So no time to like chill. I don't know how these guys do it. The guys that are great on the mic and everything else, they just sit back and like smoke hookah and like talk to girls and everything. I'm like, bro, it could not be me. I don't know, but maybe they're living the good life. I think that's why they're probably at a 9 out of 10 right now, or 10 out of 10. I'm at a 7. So I got to get into that lifestyle maybe of just relaxing and letting Drake rock for like 3 verses.
I mean, I would be similar to you. I feel like, all right, I'm kind of vibing right now. And I wouldn't want to be like, hey, play Bad Bunny. Like every 5 minutes, you're just like, bro, like I'm not playing that. Like, if anything, I'm like now not gonna play it because you just keep annoying me.
I've been beaten into submission. I don't even have to listen to the request anymore. I've already programmed it in my head that every 15 minutes I have to do a Latin or and throw a Bad Bunny song into that Latin set, just to like shut people up. Like, oh, I've already played it, my friend. You just missed it, or it's gonna come up in the next 5 minutes. Don't worry. So I don't get that many Bad Bunny requests now because I just know that you got to like throw it in somehow.
As long as you don't do like Danza Culuro or like
Suavemente. Don't throw no Suavemente.
I'll do it.
The minute a DJ throws on Suavemente, I'm telling you, I tell
That's
everybody
the kick
this.
out music.
That's me. I'm tapped out. Like I'm out. Like just count me out.
I do it though. I know a lot of people, like especially Latin people, say it's played out and they don't like hearing it, whatever. But I've never seen a crowd not dance to it, bro.
And I understand, and I get it, but it's just like I look at the people like, how many millions of times have you heard this song? And like every time it comes on, people are like,
I know,
like it's the first time.
Like it's the first
well,
time.
Another song, the hip hop is like swag surfing. Like that's like an easy.
That's
like
different.
no, it's see exactly. That's the same reaction. Me, I hate playing it, but it's like, wow, this is gonna be even Cha Cha Slide. I throw it in my set. And like, I see more people playing that now after I started doing this. I started putting Cha Cha Slide in just as a joke, and people started doing it. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And without fail, no matter how like thugged out the crowd is or how bored the crowd is, it's like they'll start dancing. So it's like that's a little easy key to get the party started as well if everybody's sitting around being bored.
There you go. Yeah. Berto, next birthday party.
Hey, I'm with it.
Cha-cha slide.
Now, hey, I'll throw that on. I don't give a shit. Let me ask you though, because the transition between growing up north and going to parties and DJing up there are very different from Miami. You just said it, right? Mm-hmm. Miami's very like, we want the hottest shit, put it on right now. I'm on coke. New York is very like, I've been to a lot of do-over parties, and they're very laid back, very chill. Like people just want to hear good music and vibe, right? Mm-hmm. How did you transition to stay relevant in Miami? Because it's a big difference, and even getting booked and gigged. I don't know who you're, if you do everything independently or if you have like an agent or whatever. I don't know how that works. Mm-hmm. But how do you start getting gigs here knowing that your style is more like, yo, I want to just play dope shit, scratch, have a good time, versus being here in a club where you're like, give me 60 songs in the next 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, how do you transition between those two, being that your style is like, the old school style, like the old school laid back, let me enjoy yourself, let's vibe out. Niggas don't need to be drinking and doing like a bunch of shit, like just vibe out. You know what I mean?
It was definitely like a little bit of a rude awakening because I came down here right after like 2021. So like right after pandemic. So I'm still, first off, people hadn't really been out that much. Had been down here. That's why I came down here. But
that's the reason?
Yeah, because I came down here for a vacation January 2021. Everything was still closed down up in New York. I went to Swan upstairs, and it felt like old, like One Oak, like in New York. It was just like no masks on. Everybody was just wilding out. I'm like, what? This is going on? I'm like, all right, dude. And a couple of, like, Andrew Schultz, this comedian, had come down here. I talked to him about it, and he's like, yeah, it's going to be pop off down here. He ended up staying like 5 months, and he went back to New York. I was like, thank you, Andrew. But he's like, this is going to be the next, like, entertainment capital. And so I'm like, all right, dude, let's go check it out. And I ended up coming down here. But that's why I came. But I came down here with that mentality of, oh, man, this is my style, bro. You're booking me to play. You know what I do. But that's fine if you're doing, like, a little guest set like I was doing in Miami every like month or every 2 months. I would come down here and play. I had a residency at like Basement at the Edition Hotel, and I would do Wood Tavern and all these other places. But then
that's where I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
if you want to play like the bigger spots I was down here, I gotta be at every like Dave Grutman spot. That's my goal. And then you start doing like these places, or and you see what the deal is, that your style doesn't fit into that. And so I've kind of had to, how I worked around it is I've definitely updated different ways that I play now down here to kind of fit in, but also I've been able to pick venues that I love to play that are more accustomed to my style. So I've changed a little bit, definitely from how I played in New York, but I still play places that allow me to be creative. Yeah. And then also I do have a manager, Rowan, who kind of like helps me negotiate things or whatever. So that's really dope as well. I don't really like to be in contact with a lot of management at the places, even though that's a big thing also down here. My friend DJ Kaz, who I work with, told me that from the beginning before I came down here, that people in Miami are more, they want to be buddy with you rather than speak to your, you know, a person that represents you or whatever like that. New York, I was able to always just kind of like fall back, show up and play, and not have to deal with the paperwork and all the other stuff. Here, it's more of like a lifestyle, and you got to go out with these people, and you know, so
it's politics.
For sure.
So let's dig a little bit into the nightlife, because I'm sure that, you know, you've seen some crazy things. Obviously, whatever you feel comfortable commenting, but just, you know, from an outsider, and you know, I've gone out a lot, we've gone out a lot. You know, it's just the phase that we go through. And curious, you know, there's plenty of times that we've seen and witnessed, you know, the overindulgence of the nightlife scene, right? The drugs, the alcohol, the sex, and all that, et cetera, et cetera. What's your opinion, you know, seeing it from the outside in, as kind of like, you're basically like, not, how do you say that?
Immersed in it?
I'm not gonna say immersed. I'm just saying, like, you're in control, basically. Okay. When you're DJing, you're in control. You control the crowd and all that. But I'm sure you see a lot of shit, right? Like, because when people are high and all this stuff, and you know, they don't, in their world, it's just them in the club, right? So curious as to your opinion, as to what's your opinion on the impact that can have, you know, on your personal life.
On me personally, I mean,
being that you're seeing everything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like anything else. Like, I've been in a bunch of weird clubs and like basements of clubs and stuff like that, and it's not my scene at all. You know, like I don't hang out with these people like that. I know what I do. Never done a drug in my life. I never like smoked weed, done anything. I've done alcohol, and I really don't want to drink that much alcohol anymore. I try not to that much when I'm DJing now, even though it's like kind of like a crutch for a lot of people, including myself. So it's like I don't let myself get caught up in that. I've been in like weird parties in Hollywood and stuff, and I understand why people want to get out of this industry in general if that's not something that you're comfortable with. So I don't know, man. I can't. Luckily, I've not been coerced in any way that would go against my morals thus far, and hopefully, I won't continue to. That won't continue to happen.
Do you mean like Eyes Wide Shut type party type thing, or just like weird?
Just weird, like Grammy weekend, like kind of like mansion stuff, and then also just like regular parties too, like girls and stuff. You know, that's what I grew up thinking. Like, that's why I wanted to be quote unquote celebrity. I wanted to be famous. The guidance counselor asked me when I was a kid, what do I want to be? Everybody's like policeman. I wrote to be famous on my thing.
And the two is the letter two, and the number two.
And then B, just the letter B.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, that's a weird thing too. Like, once you find out that everything that you've like worked for your entire life is kind of like not for you, unless you're willing to just go against everything you stand for, then it's a kind of a depressing thing as well. You know, not even to that extent of like super Illuminati devil worshiping kind of like crap, but just in general, you got to constantly put on a front that is not you. That's definitely depressing, dude. And it's like, even me personally, I can't eat right now. If I was to achieve all the goals that I wanted to achieve when I was a kid, it wouldn't even be fun right now. You know, I grew up during the time of like Motley Crue. I grew up during the time of like Tupac, all these rappers, like, you know, groupies, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was acceptable back then. Nothing is acceptable now. Even if you are a good standing person, eventually somebody's going to out you on something, and people are going to believe everything that they say about you. So it's like, why do you even want to put yourself in that position? I mean, you might want to do it for money and everything, but I've never been a money person. I'm an only child. It's the other thing. I've always loved the adoration of other random people. You know, I like going to cities and being able to like see people and they pretend they're my friends or whatever. That's the kind of stuff I was into. You know what I mean? Like, I need that kind of like fake love, you know? And now kind of understanding everything is like, man, what did I give up my entire like everything for in this industry? You know, no family, no nothing, didn't do a lot of things. I didn't become an adult. I'm still like a child mentally, you know what I'm saying? All to stay in this weird industry, dude. So
I mean,
I don't know if that's answers what you had said, but it's like it's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure everything out.
I think like the child mentality. If you feel young, you know what I mean. I feel like that's gonna keep you young. I feel that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, yeah, I definitely. But I've had to like rotate a lot of groups of friends, man. Like it's like.
But that's part of the business, especially in this industry, bro. I know it's inevitable. You have to, because it's just everyone's trying to see, like, if you're lit and you're popping, and oh yeah, we're boys, and like you said, fake love, and then you got to kind of filter those people out and see, you know, where you want to maneuver with that. But
that's not even the bad thing, like of like. Yeah, these people aren't really for. I'm talking about they just get old and have families, and I'm still stuck here. Well, next group of friends that just turned 21, you guys are gonna come out with me now. Old guy at the club, you know what I'm saying? That's how I'm starting to feel like Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. It's like we keep getting older, and the girls stay the same age. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like thing, and that's kind of whack too. It's like, dude, do I want to keep doing this, pretending like I'm hanging out? But I mean, for me, I'm in that. I didn't wild out when I was a kid. I didn't do anything bad. I never got arrested, any of this other stuff. Like nothing. I never went against my parents' wishes, bro, because they're everything to me, like I said. And so now, since I hit college, I just been living college constantly, over and over and over every year, and it just has never stopped. And so, who knows?
I feel like that's gonna happen. Being that you're in that industry, like it's just like one day you're gonna just be like, all right. Like I'm over it. Yeah. Like I feel like that's what happens with DJ. Or not even DJs. Like just people in the nightlife, right? Like I have a close boy of mine that he's in the nightlife scene, right? And it's the promoting and the story, but like big stop promoting. Not like here's flyers, come to this. Like it's like big time. They're the ones that book the artist kind of thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting to that point where it's like, yeah, I could work 2 days and make $5,000-6,000 a week, probably even more. But he's like, I'm 36 though, like 37. Where does me just going to having regular friends with a regular, schedule, what does that even look like for me now? Because I'm sure that part of that rotation for you and changing groups and friends is because like you said, you want to sleep probably last night, 7 a.m, slept until noon, and then you're doing something or back at work or doing something with business. How does that affect your personal relationships? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't really have, I have friends, and I have friends that were like really close to me that I left in New York, and we don't really talk that much anymore, honestly. It's like, I've always been an only child. I've only, in like every sense of the word, dude, I've always lived by myself. Never had a roommate outside of college. Talk to my parents like once a week. I love them, but I don't talk to them like every night. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm used to just being by myself, and it's, I don't know, dude. I love having friends and stuff, but I don't know.
Do you enjoy your solitude?
I do. Like, I talk to myself. It's crazy. I'm sure everybody does that. Like, right? Everybody does.
I mean, right. I mean, I asked because I've always enjoyed my solitude since I was a kid. My parents thought I was crazy and something was wrong with me, but I just, to this day, like, I just love being alone. Like, I love being in my space, quiet, and just chilling. You know what I mean? I love going out. He knows I love going out, but I don't feel like, damn, I don't have anybody here. Sometimes you do, but for the most part, I love being by myself. I love being in my solitude because I know it's just like my space. I don't know.
I think I need both because I love
everybody does.
I love being by myself, and that I can do it for days on end if I had to. But also during like 2020 was like some of the worst times ever.
Oh.
I needed human interaction, bro.
Who you telling, bro? Who you telling? That was like the roughest fucking time for me. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, it might have been, you were still in New York in 2020.
Yeah, so it was like super.
New York was closed out.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
I know we had a lot easier, but I'm saying in the sense of like a lot of shit happened that year.
Yeah.
For me. So with that, I was like, I took my licks.
Well, I'm also like, I think about, some people have asked me like, what is if you're never happy or you're never happy with this, whatever, like think of one moment when it's the happiest in your life. What would it be? And one of those times would be like in the middle of a club with like beautiful people around me. You know what I'm saying? Like something that does something to me. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's because I feel like I'm not worthy to be amongst these people, and I feel like, oh, I'm finally fitting in or something like that. Maybe that's what it is. So that aspect of having to be around people and having like friends or whatever around you too, I enjoy that as well. So it's definitely a balance of both of those things, Maybe it's extremes actually. I like to be either completely by myself or like wilding out over here.
Solitary confinement or in the club.
Exactly.
I feel like it's just part of it's a lot of things. Part of your growth, your personal growth. It's part of what you want. It's part of just your own goals. Like I think that might actually be one of the reasons, if it's not, what might keep you grounded and focused. You know, like think about that's actually a question I want to ask you. Like, what's something that keeps you grounded and focused, even with the crazy, schedules, a crazy change of friendships, and just overall, like there's just constant changes in your life from the industry. So how is it that you stay focused and you stay grounded and continue to, just move forward in what you want to achieve?
I mean, Jesus, I guess, I pray every day, so that's
shout out to Jesus.
That's that's someone that has never changed in my life. And that's because of my parents, especially my mother. And me not wanting to disappoint my parents, honestly, in any way. I think it's one of the reasons why I haven't got farther in my career is because these people come out and just do crazy stuff and have no regard. Maybe they don't have like parental figures or anybody like telling them or, what are you doing? I don't curse on camera or any of that kind of stuff. I don't curse at all in my life, mother, I promise. But yeah, I try not to do anything, nothing that would embarrass like anybody in my family. So I try to I guess that kind of keeps me from not wilding out too much in that direction. But as for just getting back to like having friends and doing more in my career, just prayer in general is kind of like my what do people do? They do their Tibetan what's that called? Meditation. There you go. That prayer is my meditation. So I like run every day, or like if I'm at the gym, I'll do prayer as well, like alongside of that. So that's something that like happens like every day that I can always go back to. Whatever else happens crazy during that day, I know that's one thing that'll be solid.
Now, did you face a lot of ridicule when you were a kid?
Nah, dude, I was always friends with everybody,
But like with your family though?
No, they were always very accepting of every crazy thing that I wanted to do. I loved skateboarding. I loved I played electric guitar. They bought me my first turntables, which they say now that they regret doing. It's literally, they regret buying me the first turntables. But everything I've done, I think also has not been a just give me this or and then I'll quit doing it like 2 seconds later. I've really tried to put in work on anything that I thought that I wanted to do, and I never tried to like ask for things that I thought were out of
like the budget.
Yeah. I never had I had like one pair of sneakers a year and all that other stuff. I think it's crazy now that I'm able to like buy any. This is the one thing that I think everybody should be happy about. If you have any type of like decent amount of money, you can eat like a celebrity or any person that you idolize or anything else every single day. Like I can order something right now, and I'm so thankful for that you're able to actually eat whenever you want to right now if you have any kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So I think. I don't know, man.
I asked you that because like you focus a lot about not wanting to let them down, like your parents down, or like making them look bad, and that usually results in like some type of like where you were like always cast eyes or like like you're doing this wrong or you're doing so it's always like you live with that like, okay, I can't fuck up because like I don't want them to be mad at me or I want them to accept me, and that's I'm not saying that that's how it always is.
No, that's true. But I never pressed it maybe like 3 times in my life or something like that.
Which is normal.
Yeah. Besides that, nah, dude. It's because I think that's all it was growing up. A very small family, or not very small, but like it was basically just us, me, my mom, and my dad, and that I would have to interact with on a daily basis. So that's why, the people that I live with, I want them to look favorably upon me. Even like teachers and stuff. I never got in trouble. I never wanted to go to principal or any of that stuff, man. Like, I don't know.
Did you ever want to?
I never had that like urge to be a bad boy, bro. I don't know. Never.
No, because you always, it's like for some people where it's like, oh, I don't want to, but there's always like that little like.
I mean, it's interesting.
Maybe I want to break this window real quick and see what happens.
Unless I saw it would be beneficial, like getting girls or something. Nah, and no way. That's the only reason I would
light this house on fire.
Dude, that's the only reason I would do anything like, for girls. But besides that, that's it.
All right, cool. Dime.
That's hilarious. I don't know. I'm thinking about my dumb ass self. Like while you were saying the story, I'm like, I did bad shit.
We used to go out every other week and go egging houses and vandalizing and just doing stupid shit. And it was just like we would, for girls, your girls would come with us and be like, oh shit, they're crazy. And it's like,
I think, but it was the time. So, we didn't have internet. We didn't have phones back then.
We were just outside.
Like, yo, go outside.
Yeah.
Go have fun, whatever that means. And then,
my mom's like, why do the eggs keep like fucking, who's eating all the eggs?
We did the same thing. Well, I didn't like to do it, but my friends, we did something called pumpkin chunking every year where you would go to people's houses on Halloween and take their pumpkins and smash them in the driveway, whatever. And I didn't like doing all that stuff, but I went along with people. Like, just because it's what they want us to do. Me, I'd rather be home like watching like Beavis and Butthead or something, or like watching like videos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like taking things in. My whole life, bro, was entertainment. I guess it still is, and that's what I enjoyed doing. I didn't care about the rest of that stuff. But yeah, dude, trust me.
Ding Dong Ditch was my shit too.
Doing all those things, man. Like people were vandalizing places and everything. Like, wasn't my thing.
So then, a question off of the industry, as far as how you've been talking about like your journey, like what's been one of the toughest lessons you've learned to date?
And I mean, I think we just talked about it. Kind of like everything that I thought I was living for is kind of like, when do you have to learn to let it go eventually. Like, I know this is one thing I always bring up. I'm never going to be in a boy band. And that was like maybe one of my dreams growing up. Not really my dream, because I wasn't like a singer or dancer or anything like that. But I was like, man, it'd be nice to be in like O-Town or something, But now I'm pretty sure like I'll never be an NBA player and I'll never be a boy band. It's like certain things like that you have to kind of like start. It's like losing your hair. You have to start like remembering, like, I guess this is it, bro. Like you have to, it's a realization you have to like kind of take in, and it's tough to have those things because, the whole thing in life is that you can do anything you want to do, but there's certain things you just can't do, bro. You have to kind of realize that. And as you have to start to having more of those realizations, it's tough, man. And I guess that's a hard thing to kind of like swallow, you know what I'm saying? Pause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If needed.
Just in case. No, I mean, that's beautiful. I mean, I'm actually curious as far as, being that you mentioned you've been in the industry for a while, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the changes, but so a DJ, for the people that don't know, including myself and the people who are listening and watching in, are DJs subcontract? Like, are you a 1099 self-employed kind of thing? Or is it usually like whoever hires you, you're like an employee of the venue?
Right. So when I first started, it was cash, and you didn't have to do anything. It was amazing.
In an envelope.
Dude.
There you go. Not even. No.
Anybody
crinkly dollars.
Food stamps in there. Yo, we're short, but here's $27.
Any of your DJs, some people might still be able to do this depending on what deal you work out, but usually now this is not how it goes. Like any DJ, from the 90s, 2000s, like we're getting like brown paper bags full of money, like before they even played, or half up front, whatever, and then get the rest of it, walking out, and that was it. You think they were sitting down doing their accounting after that? No, bro. They were like spending and doing everything. It was wild. And I got to like experience that for the early part of my career. But then I'm trying to think, maybe a couple years into me DJing, every venue started switching to like, you have to turn in your, all your tax forms and everything. You need a copy of your license, all this stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
Like, bro, give me the bag.
The first guy that did to me was like, oh, it's okay, man. It's okay. You write off on your taxes. It's like nothing. You get the full amount after you write it off on your taxes. So I was like, what are you saying? So eventually I've had to like understand what it is. I'm not like a LLC or incorporated or anything like that. It's just me, my social security number. But I do write off everything, bro. I write off everything. Every single Uber drive. Today, coming over here, I don't own a car. I Ubered over here. I'm definitely writing this off. Obviously, because this is something for my career. Mm-hmm. But even if it wasn't, I could be going to a restaurant tonight, and they might have DJs in the future. So I came there to look at and scope out the place. So every Uber driver, every Uber ride, write it off. Second, like anything else, any equipment that you buy for your apartment, even your apartment in or house or whatever you have, write off
per square footage.
A portion of that for your rent or mortgage, whatever. Yes, I'm working from home. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you kind of got to be smart about. But as for like incorporating or doing something, I guess I should do something eventually. But I just know how to keep via just like my email inbox on how to keep things organized receipt wise. So I haven't really had to like have like a corporate card where you're going to do this. Cause I feel like that's the only real benefit is that like making yourself a company just makes everything easier when you're filing everything.
Taxes, yeah.
I just kind of do it myself. So
yeah. And how does that affect your benefits? So, typically the 9-to-5ers, you get the 401k, you get the health insurance and all that stuff. Like how does that affect? Like how do you structure, or what resources out there for you, like as an entrepreneur, that you can actually attain these things that normally you would get just having a regular job?
Dude, that's the biggest thing I miss. And the thing probably most people who have always had a job, which I always had like a job, luckily, that had benefits take for granted, is that benefits, dude. I have to pay them all out of pocket now, and it's that's what I want to, dude. I'm on LinkedIn also. Come check me out. My name is Eric Stickles. Look on LinkedIn. I'm looking for a regular job that has benefits also. But yeah, dude, that's the one thing I miss. It's a pain to have to pay that every month, and it's I don't know, but obviously you have to do it because, dude, I'm not going into medical debt. I tell you that right now.
That's never ending debt.
Yeah.
Never ending debt.
So it's something you have to do for sure. It's like top priority for me. You have to have insurance. That's something that my parents always told me as well. Like, so I don't know, bro. Find out. But there's a lot of like programs and stuff if you're not making a certain amount, or if you're claiming to not make a certain amount. You know what I'm saying? If it's not on their taxes,
$50 a week.
Yeah, then it kind of they help you out government wise. So it's cool.
Now, just curious. Now, where did Wonder come from?
Okay, so originally I'm from Delaware. My DJ name was DJ Delaware, like DELAWHERE, like Delaware, like Delaware. But when I started working at Hot 97, everybody's like, "What is this name, bro?" So at the time I was there, I was probably the only white person there, or like maybe 2 white people. So my boss at the time, Reggie Hawkins, and Miguel, who's a producer for Star and Buck Wild, call me like Wonder Bread, like a white person. So it got shortened down to like DJ Wonder. Yeah, that's where it came from.
Wow. Fuck.
I mean, when you could get away with that kind of shit back then.
I mean, but we all did. It went back and forth. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a wild time.
He's like, "What up, DJ Cream Soda?"
Oh shit. That's funny, man. That's funny, but it's the stories. You gotta. If anybody ever asks you, gotta tell the story. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I'm
not ashamed of it. I think it's funny as hell. So whatever, it's cool.
No.
I used to walk around. My needles used to be in a Wonder, like they used to have like this one sandwich, like Wonder Bread box, and I would put all my needles and stuff in there. So just to remind myself, that's where I came from.
Now, what would you say like has helped in your career as a whole, right? In all the years, just being across the people you've been across. I mean, even just Sway. Working with Sway one-on-one. I saw that, you intern at Hot 97, all these things, but like I see you with him a lot. What kind of doors does that open for you as an entrepreneur and just somebody in the nightlife scene that somebody else just wouldn't be able to get if they didn't have that type of person with that type of a platform?
Yeah, I think I've been very fortunate just because of the people that I've worked with. They've all been great. They're all in, pretty much everybody I've worked with is in the Radio Hall of Fame. And I think I've been a part of like them being in the Hall of Fame also, my work. So I'm proud of that. And like literal Hall of Fame, not just I'm saying like they're on the Hall of, like there's literally a Radio Hall of Fame that they're in. So it's dope. And it's helped my career for sure, because if I can put on my resume, from this show or whatever, or work with this person, and they can see like what I've done, it helps me get gigs. Because if I'm just a person off the street trying to get a gig, and I have no everybody's trying to do the same thing right now. They're saying basically now you have to have music production and you have to have a song out to get like real gigs also. So you have to have some kind of added value at this point, unless you just want to keep playing bars, the rest of your life. And so it's helped me a lot. I don't utilize it probably as much as I should, like for doing music production and trying to get artists and whatever back when I was like actively on the show. And that's one thing I kind of regret, not going all out. But at the time I was just like living, and I think that's the biggest thing as well. We talk about like, man, I would do this if I had this. But once you're in the moment, you're just thinking about like, man, how do I get to the next day or whatever? That your goals kind of like keep going up and up no matter how much you are. And I guess that's kind of like for a successful person as well. You never get satisfied. You're always like, what can I do more? Blah, blah, blah. So I probably didn't utilize it enough when I was actively on the show. And I would have done that more. And it definitely helped me a lot. But I've also started a lot of like viral moments and everything else with different segments that I helped create, like with Sway. Like we did 5 Fingers of Death, which is something we worked with everybody, like Childish Gambino, Kendrick Lamar, all these people. And then I did something called Stump Wonder, which was me like mashing up 2 different songs that 2 callers would call in, and immediately I would put them together and try to make a mashup out of it. And now everybody does that on TikTok. It's crazy to me. But yeah, we're doing that back in the day. For me, filming Instagram live, all of my sets every single day. I was doing that well before like people got on Twitch and doing all that. So it was cool that I was able to like kind of in my mind start a lot of things. And I guess I kind of use that resume wise as well. I don't know if it's helped me that much, because it's just
the
same stuff, man.
Yeah, you're chilling, bro. You got a fucking
cool.
brand new condo and
that's off the air, guys. Don't tell people that.
Oh shit! Well, you rented it.
No, actually, it's on my Instagram. You can check it out. I did a little tour of it on there, so you guys can check that.
All right, so now kind of just like closing out with a few questions here. Apart from music, apart from DJ Wonder, DJ fucking, what was it, Delaware? Who is Eric?
Dude, there is no difference. It's a real shame. I don't cook. I don't hunt. I don't like do water sports. I don't do anything. You know, what I like to do is go listen to other DJs. That's my main thing. I'll go to different cities, and like when I'm taking vacations, which is never a vacation because I try to book a gig even if I'm on vacation. It's been a problem for people I've gone on vacation with in the past. Currently, also, is that I'm not gonna fly out and go somewhere without trying to play out there. You know, that's what brings me joy. So listen,
maybe that's your hunting.
I mean, definitely is. There's no separation between me and what I do, though. You know, in that aspect, it's like it's every single day. Whether I'm watching videos, whether I'm organizing music, which I do for hours, 6 to 8 hours a week probably, to going out listening to other people play just for fun. I'm not trying to steal your stuff, guys. Don't worry. I'm just like listening to you.
Yeah, sharpening up my skills. All right, yeah. Keep doing your set.
I like to hear how you guys yell on the mic. I need to learn that better. But besides that, I love theme parks like Disney World. I grew up going to Disney once a year as a kid, and I've always loved it. This is the first year I've become an annual pass holder since I'm finally living in Florida. So I'm trying to take advantage of that as much as possible. I love Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios. I love anything horror related. That's my favorite genre of movies. I go to as many like haunted attractions as I can every Halloween, like different states. I used to take a road trip from New York down to Delaware and hit Philadelphia, all these different places, and do that. I went to New Orleans for the first time last Halloween, did that. So I guess outside of music, those are the things I like. I like amusement parks, haunted stuff. Like this child mentality has never left, even in my hobbies, folks. So,
favorite scary movie?
Scream is my favorite movie of all time.
Good shit.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I used to have, I don't know if you saw, but my sheets where I had my podcast studio last, I was in my apartment, so my bed was like right there and has Scream mask all over it. So any girl that would come in there would automatically think I'm a psycho.
Yeah, no. Yeah, lay down. She's like, no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So since we're on the topic of like just outside of music, again outside of music, outside of DJing, what's something that you've experienced that you wish someone had taught you before you experienced it, you went through it?
I mean, probably just do it. Whatever you're thinking of doing. And it's like, I got lazy a lot of times. Once you get comfortable with certain things, I'm a person of comfort. I enjoy eating the same thing every day. Once I get in a routine, like I don't like going on roller coasters, even though I love these amusement parks, but once I go on one and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad, whatever, I'll go on that one again. But if a new one opens, I'm like, I get that same feeling, bro. Like, I don't want to do this now. So that's the same thing with life, is like, once I've conquered something, or once I know that I can do it, like, it's cool. I try not to like keep jumping into these new hustles or a new venue or a new anything, because it scares me. It gives me anxiety in that aspect. But I think I would have probably jumped into more things and just said, forget it, man. Let's go. And I think I probably would have, if I wanted to do music production, or for someone who's looking to get in music production, I would have interned, not worried so much about school internships and everything, even though school did help me immensely skill-wise and like just people skills and everything else. I think I would have worked directly with like another producer, like trailing them, being the personal assistant, do whatever you need, just so I can get in studios and see how that kind of works. And I think that any kind of entertainment field that you want to get inside of, it's best to just get there as quickly as you can. People really don't care about like what's on your resume, unless you're going to be a doctor or something that where you have to have that certification. Outside of that, you need to have contacts, you need to show that you can be on time, and that's very important, and that's your skills basically. So I would have jumped into that a lot more. And I don't know, man, and like I nobody taught me anything. It's great. I don't have any like older siblings or anybody older than me that was in this industry. When we're talking about somebody would have taught me something about the industry in general, but in life in general, my parents definitely taught me a lot, but we have a very like kid-parent relationship. They weren't my friends in that way, and they weren't telling me things that I've kind of had to find out on my own growing up. So it's been exciting, like kind of learning that stuff. Like if somebody would have told me, there's a speed bump coming right here, bro, slow down. Like I guess it would have been smoother, but it's still been fun, trying to figure that stuff out. So yeah, career-wise, just, dude, if you're thinking of it, just do it in any way that you can. Even if it looks like cheesy or whatever, at least you accomplish something. And then the next time you do it, it's going to be even better,
Cool.
Yeah.
So we good on that?
Yeah. That's
all right, man. Well, shit. I appreciate you, brother, coming through. this whole platform, and we say it to why we bring the people that we bring on, and the whole concept of it is, us men, we're not being told as much as we should that, you're like when you're doing something good and being recognized for it. So we brought you on to, we've seen as much as you probably think that you're not, you are, you're what we stand for, which is prolific. And, we respect what you're doing, your hustle, your grind, as much as 20 years and something is a lot of fucking years. That's a lot of dedication. That's consistency, and maybe you're not getting praise as much, as you should be. But that's why we're here, is to let you know that. And if we could be of any assistance, or service to you of anything that you're doing, or any show or any live stream, whatever the fuck it is, if anything, we're here to support you and let you know that, you are doing your thing, and much respect to you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to ask you, you hate it when people cannot differentiate between the word prolific and profound? You ever notice that? Like,
No.
it's like, he's spitting the craziest, most prolific lyrics, but they mean to say profound.
Profound,
That's
yeah.
one thing I always, when I hear the word prolific, I always think about that. Anyway, profound means you're doing something great. Prolific means you're doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
So,
No, I haven't heard of that,
Okay.
honestly. But now I'm going to
be like,
the minute someone says prolific, I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah,
That's not the right
exactly. And thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. If I can plug.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Cool. At DJ Wonder everywhere, literally. Finally just got everything. I mean, I've had DJ Wonder for most things, but now TikTok finally at DJ Wonder, and YouTube at DJ Wonder, everything at DJ Wonder. Come check me out there. And that's where I put all of my calendar, where I'm going to be at, or flyers or whatever. If you want to come check me out. And if you want to book me, there's an email address you can hit on there. And like I said, LinkedIn, I'm looking for any job, bro. I'm really I'm considering telemarketing. I'm considering any remote job at this point. I just want to be a normal human.
You have the voice for it.
Yeah. Then I think I would get pissed off too quickly at people though. So I don't know if that's the right field for me.
Yeah, watch what
Something will fall.
Yeah, watch what you wish for.
Yeah.
But what are you playing next?
Let's see.
Or what's like the next event that you have next?
The next event that I have is Blackbird every Thursday. If you guys have been to Brickell in Miami, it's a place called Blackbird Ordinary. I'm there every Thursday. Then I'm playing Freehold, which is in Miami, and Wynwood. I'm playing that. And then I'm playing Brick, which is also in Wynwood. That's all this weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, sure.
Cool. And what's, just since we're on that topic, what's next for you? Besides, DJing, what's next for DJ Wonder? What are you trying to get into? What's your goals for the next year?
Dude, that's what I'm trying to find out. Can you help me?
Yeah, TBD.
Send me your resume.
I don't know what I'm doing, dude. Yeah. It sucks. I wish I could enjoy. This is the thing, folks. I want to be able to enjoy myself, enjoy my life, and I can't because it could be like that. At any given moment, it's a wrap.
So that gives you more reason to enjoy it.
I can't though, because I got to keep stacking in some way, because at any given moment I could be eating off the street, which I do anyway. No, I'm just joking. But nah, dude. So yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, man. I enjoy playing still, and when it gets to the point where I don't get that sense of butterflies, or I don't get nervous before I play, then I know that's a wrap, DJing wise. As for music, I still love it. I enjoy producing music. I enjoy doing anything creative pretty much once it's done. In the middle of it, I hate it. But once it's done, I like to sit back and look at the stuff I've done, and it's dope. So anything along those lines, creative-wise, I guess that's what I'm going to continue to keep doing this next year.
Dope, man.
Respect.
Well, listen, man, you got our full support. Again, thank you for taking the time out and joining us on our platform. Love to show your journey and everything you've been through, and also everything you're going to go through. And you got our full support here at Prolific, so we'll do one last toast and we'll send it away.
Yeah, man.
This is episode 42, ladies and gentlemen.
42,
DJ Wonder,
DJ
not
Wonder.
Delaware anymore.
Jackie Robinson episode. Right
Jackie
here.
Robinson
There we
episode.
go.
Exactly.
Shout out to episode 42. But guys, check him out. We're going to drop all his information right down below. Make sure you subscribe, follow him for the vibes, man. He's in Miami now, in the Sunshine State, and he's going to be, tearing up and bringing the vibes to your next venue. But thank you for joining us again. This is episode number 42. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Berto.
Your boy Will and
We
DJ
got-
Wonder. Episode 42.
Nice.
There you go.
See you guys later.
Peace.
Cause they thought I'd never make it. See me fall down and they celebrated. Learn how to